Hey everyone, Lady Sapphire here. Today we're going to be talking about something maybe a little different. Maybe you've heard about it before. Maybe you think it's icky. Who knows? But we're talking about food and feeders and eaters. So if you don't know what that is, stay tuned because I'm going to be getting into what they are, why they do what they do, and how to better a relationship if you are one of these kind of kinksters. So here we go. So, when we're discussing things like eaters and feeders, typically you see some skinny guy feeding a really, really fat girl. And that is not always the case, and that's actually a sign of a really abusive type of relationship because they shouldn't be allowing their partners to become dangerously obese. That shows you don't love your partner, not that you do love your partner. If you love your partner, you're going to be encouraging healthy eating and healthy options. So, without more introduction, what are eaters and feeders? So these are two specific different things. Feeders are people that learned food is love, and to bestow someone with food is a great gratification. It's like you are bestowing love and bestowing them with food. It might also be linked into a fetish with larger women, or larger men. I'm not going to specify either way, larger people. But typically it has more to do with food is love. And eaters, this is similar in the way that they're all about food is love, and to have someone who wants to feed them all the time is a sign of they accept them for who they are. As a bigger person, they want them to be who they are, and that creates a nice, comfortable dynamic for people to live. Now, where the comfort and the danger comes into play is a lot of people don't understand healthy eating. So when we're talking about healthy eating, it doesn't mean that you can't have, if you like enjoying your chocolate syrup or marshmallows in the bedroom, have fun. Do what you love. But when you're outside of the bedroom, try to encourage more healthy options. Try to make sure that the balanced diet is still a prevalent lifestyle choice, and that you're both maintaining a healthy weight. Now, I'm not going to say that big and beautiful. I am not exactly a teeny tiny girl. I know lots of girls who are big and beautiful, and I think they are absolutely wonderful. But I do also think that healthy equals sexy. So when I'm talking about like bigger girls, I'm talking about if you are a very curvy woman, you rock those curves, babe. There is nothing wrong with that. But when we're getting into the morbidly obese categories, like over 500 pounds, that becomes dangerous. And it's not that I don't think that can be sexy, it's that I'm more worried about their health than thinking of them as a sexual option. So when we're looking at that weight, it gets very dangerous. We can end up with diabetes, we can end up with heart diseases, we can end up with many different kidney and ovarian and liver and you name it. Just being morbidly obese may cause serious diseases. So when we're talking about eaters and feeders, keep in mind that yes, food can be love. Food is wonderful, but healthy food is real love. When you have a feeder who is just forcing chocolate down your throat all of the time, they're clearly not in love with you. They clearly don't care about you as a person. So you need to be on guard that if you are an eater or if you are a feeder, you are always maintaining the health of the other person as well. That you are concerned about them being your lifelong partner. Because the problem is, as much as fat can be beautiful, you're cutting their lifespans short. So if you want that person to raise your children and be there when you're old and you need someone to take care of you too, make sure that they're healthy. Make sure that they're at a point of weight that they can live comfortably. If they are so overweight they can't walk through doors and they're having a hard time breathing, then how much love are you showing by allowing them to continue that way for your sake as a feeder? Now, this is something that I think can be a little bit on the icky side when you're not considering health. And I do believe that there is nothing wrong with wanting a partner who is a little bit chunky. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with a little bit more, junk in the trunk or a little more cushion. That's fine. but make sure that you're both moderating your health to prove that you love each other, that no matter what, you are not going to allow your kink to kill your partner. That is not your main priority, is killing your partner. Because I have seen this, and if you watch shows like 600-Pound Life, you see it all the time, where they're like, oh no, they're going to lose a bunch of weight. And yes, they might lose a little bit of weight, but that doesn't mean they're going to just disappear into a twig. Like, these are people who have been probably massively obese for a long time, and they're not going to just shrink down to a size 2. And nor would they probably want to. Most people who have spent their life overweight don't want to get down to size 2. They would be very happy at a size 12 to a size 16, like, which is still nice cushion for the pushing without risk of serious illness. And that's what it comes down to. So when we're talking about these kind of people, there can be very healthy, very effective relationships. They can go on strong into their 80s comfortably. So I don't want to sound like I'm judging people who happen to be eaters or feeders. That is not the point of this video. This video is to open up the eyes of people who may have friends in the situation or might be in the situation, and maybe they just need a little bit of guidance. So in that guidance, I'm not just going to sit here and crap all over you without giving you some help. So here's my advice. If you are in one of these relationships and you are a feeder or an eater, encourage that healthy eating in between. Do not shame them if every now and then they want to have a salad instead of that burger that you like to watch drip down their chin. I get that that might be the urge. Keep that for once in a while. Don't do it all the time. And it's kind of adds that anticipation where it's like, if that's your thing and you really like watching somebody eat and it makes you feel just so turned on just to watch them eat and watch that food dripping down their faces, which I understand that is your kink. If that's your thing, you do you. But make sure that you're not shaming them. Maybe get a kick out of watching that oil run down their face eating a nice vinaigrette salad. Like, there are other ways to get this gratification and satisfaction without forcing fatty foods. The other thing I really want to tell eaters specifically is, if you are one of those food is love type people where you just love making them food and watching them eat that food with languor while you know you just cooked that for them, learn healthier options. Don't just cook the same things all the time. Make sure that you're switching it up. Learn how to make some most amazing salads. Like, I make salads with berries and sweet poppy seed dressings and spinach and iceberg and a little bit of everything. And it's sweet, it's delicious, it tastes like dessert. But it's a salad and it's good for you, and it's going to be very low carb because you're using things like poppy seed dressings instead of celery dressings. And I'm very sorry that I do that once in a while. My throat, lungs just kind of work with me here. I do have a stomach problem that makes my lungs lurch every now and then, so it just comes out of nowhere. It's and I can't help it, so please, please don't judge me for it. I can't always prevent it, but I try to work through it, so here we go. But yeah, when we're dealing with eaters especially, make sure that you learn different recipes, because healthy food is real love. To want them to live forever with you is true love. That is what's going to show them that if they're having a moment where they're like, I really need to lose some weight for my health, you support them. Learn how to transfer those eating those eating kinks to healthy foods. Now, again, if you want to bring that chocolate syrup or marshmallows or whatever to the bedroom, Nutella is an awesome alternative to chocolate syrups, and you can always go for different things as an option. Bring in more fruits, bring in more vegetables into that is another option. Strawberries can be just as sexy as a marshmallow. But just keep these things in mind when we're discussing these kind of kinks. Like, when you're living in that kind of kink, make sure that you're ensuring that your partner lives forever with you, that you have this wonderful person next to you for the rest of their lives too, and that their lives aren't going to be cut short because you don't want to consider their feelings. Now, for eaters, you can also encourage your feeders. If you know that they have specific types of kinks, like they like to watch you eat a very specific way, or they like to watch certain things, like I was talking about as a one example, as the dripping of foods down the chin, or whatever it might be. All of them can be different. But when you're a feeder, try to encourage them as well, where it's like, oh, you like that when I eat it like this? Well, I'm going to eat strawberries like that instead of the marshmallow, or I'm going to eat grapes like that, or I'm going to do other foods, and encourage them as well. So it's not just one-sided, because everyone wants to be healthy. And I'm not going to say that big can't be beautiful. I think that being overweight is just as dangerous as being underweight. I think we all need to find a balance within ourselves. We all have to reach a balance within ourselves. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I really, really don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I will say we can encourage healthiness. We can encourage each other to take care of ourselves and take care of each other, because these are your partners. These are your life mates, or these are people that you want to keep around for a while. Let's not kill them over our kinks. And that's something that will come up in a few of these different kink videos, because a few of them can be a little bit dangerous and kind of icky in that way of it can turn very abusive very quickly. So I really want to talk about them, and that's why I'm doing these videos, is to encourage conversations about it, to encourage that it doesn't matter what your kink is. It should be embraced, it should be respected, but you also need to be safe. You need to make sure that we're always playing within the consent box. I'm going to mention it every episode because I think it's very important. The consent box, and as long as you're maintaining some kind of healthy balance to life, then there's no harm to it. There really isn't. There's no harm to being a little bit pudgy. There's no harm to being a little bit on the obese side, as long as you're out of that morbidly obese, because it's called that for a reason. I'm not judging. I don't care. I don't care what size you are. I think everyone is beautiful, but healthy is sexy, because without health, we don't have that vivation. We don't have that vitality or longevity. So what fun are we in the bedroom if we're sitting there like, I can't breathe, I can't talk, but somehow that's sexy? It doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way. So let's just remember to maintain health. Whatever your healthy number is, maintain it, and you will find your life progressing in many different ways. And if you happen to be with a feeder who doesn't respect that, then clearly this feeder doesn't love you for you and isn't willing to compromise in the relationship for you, because there are healthy alternatives. One does not have to just eat cake all the time to satisfy their feeder. One does not just need to eat chocolate all the time to satisfy their feeder. And if you have a feeder who is like that, then maybe you need to move on, because they're not really in love with you. They don't really care about you. They only care about their own self-gratification, and it probably falls more into my warning signs of they're making it seem like it's about you, but it's not. It's all about them. Because if they love you, they will encourage you to eat healthier options along the way. There is nothing wrong. Once again, if you have friends who are eaters and feeders, do not judge them. You can encourage them to take more healthy alternatives. Maybe if you see a recipe that you know they really like and it's a lot healthier, show it to them. Offer them the help, but do not judge them for this different kink than you might have. And I get it. It can seem scary when you have friends who don't know about health and don't know about healthy lifestyles, and you're watching a friend balloon out and you're going, wow, they could die. Like, I don't even care about the fact that they're bigger. I care that they could die. I understand the frustration, but you have to remember that these are kinks. These are things that they're never going to stop doing. But you can encourage them to take healthier alternatives. So I'm going to end it with that today. I hope we had some fun. I hope you learned something. And even if you're just struggling with diets or whatever else, and this had really nothing to do with you, please, please don't hurt yourself trying to get to some arbitrary number. Just make sure you feel comfortable. Make sure you feel sexy, you feel healthy. If you need to, go hit the gym. There is nothing wrong with going and hitting the gym or watching what you eat. But don't kill yourself over stupid diets, trying to make yourself into something that you're just not. Then that's okay. If you are not meant to be a size 2, you are just not meant to be a size 2. Size 12 can be just as sexy. Learn how to dress. Make sure you feel comfortable. And that's all that should matter. So I hope everyone has a great night and enjoyed my video. Like and subscribe below if you want to support me, and share the videos if you want other people or you know other people that could maybe benefit from this. So Have a good night, guys. Bye.